dress van, smalls.
I'm similar to the thriller in Manila. Honeys call me bigger, the condom filler. Whether it's stiff tongue or stiff dick, Biggie squeeze it to make shit fit. Now check this shit, I got the pack of Rough Riders in the back of the Pathfinder. You know the epilogue by James Carr Smith. I get swift with the lyrical gift. Hit you with the dick, make your kidney shift. Here we go, but I'm not domino. I got the funk flow to make your drawers drop slow. So recognize the dick size in these Coincatch jeans. I wear 13s, know what I mean? I fuck around and hit you with the Hennessy dick. Mess around and go blind, don't get to see shit. The next batter, here to shatter your blatter, it doesn't matter. Skinny or fat or light skinned or black, baby, I drop these. Boniqua mommy screaming, I poppy. I love it when they call me Big Pop, but I only smoke blunts if they roll prop. But look, I got ya caught up with the drunk flow. Fuck taekwondo, I told a fofo. For niggas getting mad cause they bitch chose me. A big black motherfucker with G. You see, all I do is separate the game from the truth. Big bang boots from the Bronx to Bolivia. Getting physical like Olivia Newt. Tricks up my click dick all day with no trivia. So give me a bankroll and a bag of weed. I'm guaranteed to fuck until I nosebleed. Even if the new man's a certified Mac, you get that H-Town in ya. You want that old thing back?
Like B-I-double-G-I-E with some new R-U-L-E. Notorious, known for busting in your E-Y-E. Baby, baby, bitches know they love to hate me. How come you come, we're coming back to maybe. How close we came to coming together is crazy. How come you and your sis make similar faces? When y'all coming, y'all be crying like I'm killing y'all bitches. I know there's a bigger picture than the camera roll. Cause I don't think y'all be knowing how this shit's unfolding. Back shots to the rear, got the Mac unloading. Gotta reload like every so often. Saying I got my swagger back. I'm looking like bitch, my swagger never left. Don't be so hard pressed to be impressed by these new rappers. They actors and the fact is, you want that old thing back.
Like Scarface and Bushwick, Willie D having nightmares of girls killing me. She mad because what we had didn't last. I'm glad because her cousin let me hit the ass. Fuck the past, let's dwell on the 500 SL, the E and J and ginger ale. The way my pockets swell to the rim with Benjamins. Another hundred's in the crib, please send her in. I fuck non-stop, lick my lips a lot. Used to lick the clips a lot, but licking clips had to stop. Cause y'all don't know how to act when the tongue go down below. Keep the funk flow, really though. I got the cleanest, meanest penis. You never seen this, stroke of genius. So take off your Tim boots and your bodysuit. I mean the spandex and hit my man next. Sex get rougher when they come to the nut buster. Pussy crusher, black nasty motherfucker. I don't chase them, I replace them. And if I'm caressing them, I'm undressing them. Fuck what you heard, who's the best in New York? Fulfilling fantasies without that nigga Mr. Raw. Or tattoo, I got you wrapped around my dick. And when I'm done, I got the split shit.
What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. A lot of change in macro structure. Market getting absolutely obliterated. Gonna talk about it. Unfortunately, those of you that normally watch on Twitter, Twitter live streaming does not work because Twitter's been having issues all day. So if I don't see a lot of people in here, I'm probably just gonna keep this one short. Maybe just look at Bitcoin and the SPX, and then maybe we'll live stream tomorrow. Not that I don't want to live stream for you guys, but normally there's about 1,000 people in here, and right now there's 25. So I'd rather save a lot of that conversation for tomorrow. What's up, Jack? Once again, you timed it. Yeah, we did pretty well. Problem was a lot of alts we held ended up completely round tripping, which was pretty wild. Love to see another person with the same views. Appreciate it. D. Mettons. I literally spared myself a 90% decrease in my alt portfolio. I'm glad that you saved yourself. What's up, Danny? Yeah, I think I said this a minute ago, guys. If we don't have a lot of people in here because Twitter live streaming is down, then we'll probably just keep this short and sweet, and I'll live stream tomorrow. All right, let's talk about some stuff. So, 3 or 4 weeks ago, I said, hey, probably looking to sell. Where was that? That was here, right? Was it the top? No. Was it close? Yes. We started compiling a list, right? We've gone over the list dozens of times saying, hey, things might be changing, tariffs, all of the uptick in inflation. I mean, the list is there, right? Jerome Powell came out and said QE's not happening for a while. And look, I know that there's these self-proclaimed geniuses on Twitter that think that they know something that they don't, and they just don't. So I'm going to go with what people say they're going to do. But anyways, you zoom out, Bitcoin went up 600%, right? At the end of the day, technically we've had a full-blown bull run. Believe it or not, we've had a full-blown bull run. I know altcoins didn't do well, which, sucks. That's tough, and I think that there's a lot of people that didn't make any money this run, even if they had Bitcoin, because their gains offset, or their losses offset their Bitcoin gains, because alts literally did nothing. And I was one of those people saying, hey, look, you missed out on Bitcoin, but some of these alts look decent. So I will eat my words on that. However, I don't think anyone had like ill intention mention, like listing like, hey, you guys should get into Link or Tau or Fetch or maybe Solana, unless we were talking about after Solana had topped. I don't think anyone had ill will. I think it was more like, hey, Bitcoin's at 50 to 60 to 70K, and something like Mana at the time was in its bear market low or range low, and unfortunately never broke out. So I did want to cover that first. So if you bought Mana and you're like, oh my God, I lost a bunch of money on it, like, I do apologize. I was looking at this like, oh, this will probably catch up to Bitcoin, and it just never did, and it's likely going to put in lower lows. Picking up more Bitcoin? Not yet. See what you got up your sleeves. Understood. We'll subscribe. I'll check tomorrow. Oh, with the Twitter stuff. Yeah. So no, I'm not looking to pick up Bitcoin in Bitcoin spot until we're near the 200 weekly. It's always been a pretty good area to buy. You just go back in time. We've held the 200 weekly relatively well. Even if you bought literally right here at 22K, you were still in a good place. Do I think we come all the way down there? I don't know. But if we do, I will begin buying. I am not interested in buying right now. Spot. Yes, I'd technically get a $20,000 discount, but with the way the macro structure looks on everything, I think we're going to have a decent sized correction. Looking for 72K GP reaction first. Yeah, I'm looking for so what I'm looking for is a big ass daily red candle to like 68 to 67, maybe 66. And then we pull back up to like 75 pretty quick. Something that looks like, I'll show you. Something that looks like this. Like I'm looking for this. And then we range, and then we continue lower, probably into the 50s and possibly 40s. I know to a lot of you that sounds crazy, but when we dump fast. And I'm telling you, this macro market is changing. If I can get lower, then I will. I wasn't that serious. I'm still with you in terms of macro structure. I think the bottom is still like 65 to 75K. You could be right. If I'm going to make a long-term holding, and I know how this market reacts to macro environment, especially, and I will give you this, it depends how the S&P 500 looks. If the S&P 500 looks good, then yeah, sure, I'll get back into Bitcoin, maybe Ethereum, maybe some Tau, because it's coming all the way down. But you look at the S&P right now, and look, we haven't broken down completely yet, but we start breaking this diagonal, and if we break 5,200, what is this, 5,250 area? When I say crypto is finished, I mean, Bitcoin's probably going back to like 30, 40K. And I know for a lot of you, like, that's not a big drop. I mean, that's a 15% drop. Guys, Bitcoin dropped 80% and the S&P 500 dropped 27, 28%. 15% drop here is probably a 60% drop from highs. I mean, that takes us to about 45,000. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, look where that lines up to at the 200 weekly. Pretty amazing. Everyone is still too bullish, I would agree. I don't think they're necessarily bullish. Here's the mindset. I think a lot of people, and I don't mean this in a negative way, I think people are coping. I think people are staying hopeful, but truthfully, like deep down, they're not bullish. Like they're like, oh my God, I need the market to pump. I need to be bullish. Like, why is everyone bearish? I need to be bullish because we're oversold. I need to make these gains back or make up these losses, I guess to say is. And I've seen it in my own Discord, man. I've had people go into the crypto chat or whatever in the main chat and they're like, I'm done. Like that was a wrap. Sorry guys. It was they admitted their own fault. Like they overinvested or took out loans or took out margin and basically capitulated. And I think a lot of these people are still like either close to that point or coping. In either way, I still think we have more downside to go. I mean, look, we could range here for a little while, but I still think we're coming down. It is what it is. Yeah, I mean, look, this is one of those situations that no one thought the only thing would pump is Bitcoin. Like, I'm not trying to make excuses, but why we didn't have even Ethereum. Like, look at Ethereum. And for reference, Ethereum has outperformed Bitcoin for the last 5 years. Well, other than last year, it's outperformed Bitcoin for the last 5 to 6 years in this whole bull run. Bull run, might you add, it did nothing. And it's almost completely round tripped all the way to macro lows. Like, you look at something like Fetch, guys. I bought this 3 years ago, and I don't own any anymore. And I don't own any anymore. I bought it here. We retraced everything that fast. I mean, realistically, this big drop here, which really isn't, I mean, what is this, 3 months? Complete backlash, we bounce, now we're lower, below those point. Pretty wild. A few months ago, it was hilarious where people were saying, this is your last chance to get Bitcoin at 100K. Yeah, now we're at 78K. Opium is real right now before the bull market is also nothing like I've seen before, and I've been in the space for years. Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with you. All right, let's talk a couple things. I'm going to pull out the side-by-side chart, guys. Unfortunately, and I appreciate you guys being here, I tried to make a statement on Twitter that said, look, I can't live stream on Twitter. Something's wrong with Twitter. Something was wrong with Twitter this morning, unless you live under a rock and don't use it. But I can't live stream. So I said at the beginning of the stream, look, if we don't get a lot of people in here, I'm just going to live stream maybe tomorrow or save it for Wednesday. Because I wanted to go over like a lot of in-depth stuff. Oh, it doesn't carry over. This is the one thing I hate about the side-by-side charts. I'm too lazy for that. So, okay, we'll just keep switching back and forth. So Bitcoin's obviously lost support. The next support's at 70K. Here's the kicker. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, we're going to bounce and go higher. The S&P 500 has not only confirmed a double top, is now losing a main macro support, which acted as resistance support, right? Breakout, retest, continuation. Now we're just dumping right through it. which again tells me your next horizontal support's at 5,300. That's still a pretty sizable correction that could easily take Bitcoin into the 60s. And I mean, look, there's a chance we hold the diagonal and maybe pop up, but I still think structure says down. You guys have to put things into perspective. The S&P 500 is up 80% in the last 3 years. Right? That's 3 years. The average return for the S&P 500 is 8%. Right? We tripled it year by year. I'll be buying up this cheap Bitcoin. I think, and that just depends when we drop. And look, we might not drop. I might be wrong. But I don't know, man. I don't like the environment, and I think Trump's ripping off the Band-Aid. The only thing that sucks is we never really saw alts do anything. And I think a lot of it has to do with how many. I don't know if I believe the dilution in altcoins because the money's not there for all these scams, but I think all of the scams ruined new investors coming into the space. If you move Bitcoin or SPX one on top of another on the watch list, you can press up or down on your keyboard and it'll shuffle through the charts on the right. Ooh. Did not know that. So, top of another, you can press up or like this. Yeah, but what I mean is it doesn't change. It doesn't add my supports. Like, look at this. So if I click on this side and hit the S&P, see how it has all my supports and resistances? Like this one doesn't, and it's literally the same chart. It makes no sense. Oh, like this? Oh, maybe easier than clicking. No, I don't mind the clicking. It's my problem is I need the support and resistances on there from this side to this side, and I'm not getting them. But we'll see what happens with the S&P, man. I think we come lower. I think Trump's ripping the Band-Aid off. We have plenty of reasons to go lower. We had an 80% upside over 3 years. It would make sense to get a correction. If Bitcoin crashes below 50K, I plan to take a loan. Oh. Did you just delete your message? Do not take a loan to buy crypto, guys. No. Yeah, not switching charts, like adding the stuff. I don't know. There's probably a way to do it, but who knows? This last topic I wanted to cover today is Bitcoin dominance and altcoins. I think there might be some people here watching having hope for an alt season. I am fully convinced we're not going to get one now. Here's why. I was explaining this to Patrons in the Morning Brew this morning. I think that these divergences played out, and now we're moving sideways and continuing upward. Why do I think that? Because we got to move down initially with the divergences. Two, all of our altcoin charts are showing extreme weakness. I mean, Ethereum's not regaining levels. Powell's making lower lows. Fetch is making lower lows. Solana lost support. Not to mention, you look at Ethereum, and Ethereum's headed down to $1,500. I've said that for the last couple of weeks, and a lot of denial. Ethereum looks very ugly. I mean, there's a chance this could come down into sub 1,000 again, which again, that would imply probably the bear market is beginning. I don't think we'll have like a full-blown bear market, but what I do believe is it's going to be risk off for a while. And, you know, if you can salvage some money now from selling your altcoins, I think you should. Can't believe we aren't getting an alt season. What's the point in being in crypto? The reason we didn't get an alt season is because of all the scams and everyone putting their money into meme coins and then losing it all the next day. That's why we didn't get an alt season. 2 month on others turn bearish. It's over. Yeah, it's definitely. And when I look back at Bitcoin, maybe I overestimated this and should have paid attention, but we technically did make bearish divergences here. My problem was there too much of a gap? Because on the weekly, I don't know if I consider those divergences. I'll be honest with you. There's so much time in between this that Because that would be like saying I consider these divergences, and there's years between these 2 points, right? Like time relevance is huge with, especially with divergences, but we didn't even make a local. Did we make a local divergence here? This is 75.66. Okay, so we almost made divergences here, which is probably causing that move down, but monthly looks ugly, dude. I think the monthly's coming down, truthfully. KuCoin is gone. Where can we short? You can short on Coincatch and Blowfin. And I have referral links where you'll save some on your fees. You say what needs to be said, not what people want to hear. Yeah, sometimes it's tough. Sometimes it's tough to say that because you don't want to piss people off. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's probably better to know the truth than to not. Just live in denial. Don't forget there's CPI Wednesday. I don't know why there's so much focus on CPI nowadays. I mean, for the last 2 years, like now you have all these people that have never looked at, like you'll have a guy, like someone that's in their 40s or 50s that's never paid attention to CPI ever. And now that they're in crypto and they trade all the volatility, they watch CPI every day, which makes it just an egregious amount of volatility for no reason. Trump dumpster fire disaster. This is not Trump's fault. Maybe some of the initial volatility from the tariffs, but I've been saying for the last several months that no matter who becomes president, there is a cool off coming in the stock market. Like, you don't go up 80% and not have a significant correction here and there. I'm just mad because I told my friends and family we were going to get an alt season. Happened. All the liquidity went to Solana shit coins and ETH went to shit. I mean, yeah, that's the risk you take investing into volatile assets. I think a big misconception people have is if they put money into something, it'll make more money. That's not always true. No matter what you're investing, you could buy real estate and still lose money on it. Plus, USD dominance is about to close above 5.51. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it's already above my weekly resistance. I mean, this, hate to say it, but this does look like a big old double bottom. If it gets above 6.5, you can guarantee that this is going to be retested, and we probably are in a bear market. The bull run might be over. Honestly, I think the bull run is over. Like, I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, we're going to have like a 2 or 3 year long bear market, but I think us seeing higher highs is not going to happen for at least another 6 months. I think a lot of people have been flushed out. I think a lot of people have been scammed. I think the cost of living is too high. I think there are less people investing money right now into volatile assets. How about the dollar index? I mean, look, the dollar's going down because of all the Trump tariff shit. That's literally, I mean, that's why. There's a huge macro structural change. That's why the dollar's going down. I'm not terribly focused on how this looks right now because everything's going to go down with all the fundamental change. A lot of good opportunity to short now. I don't think so. I mean, we're closer to support than to resistance. There are plenty of opportunities to short this. If you look at the daily, I mean, other than our news-based bullshit pump we got last week, this is a breakdown. This is a retest. This is continuation. You could have looked for shorts here, and I said it multiple times. I mean, the whole structure is bearish. We should at least see into the 70s, in my opinion. I mean, the daily just looks disgusting. And with the daily looking gross, you have stock reset and RSI reset. I would expect this to, again, at least 70K, possibly lower in the short term. Definitely lower in the long term if the stock market continues to drop. And we already covered that with the S&P 500. When will I re-enter the market? When we're down 60 to 70%, my man. I'm not buying right now. Like, okay, let's say this is our weekly. right? Where would I look to buy? Let's say I'll even redraw. I'll draw a different scenario. Like probably the, I don't want to say this is going to happen, but let's say it does, right? Let's say this happens. Where would I start to buy? Right here. I'd probably start buying there, little bits, increasing those amounts there. Why? Because we're down 50% into 60%, hovering around the 200 weekly. It also depends how the weekly, I want to see a change in weekly RSI. And I also want to see the monthly come down to 50 RSI at least, or almost to 40. Let me go to my other chart. Yeah, I want to see at least, do this. I want to see around 40 to 50 RSI on the monthly. I want to see monthly stock bottom out as well. Until all those things happen, I'm not interested in buying. I mean, if you think memes are scams, which they are, then Solana is pretty much good short in my opinion. Okay, then short it. I'm not interested in shorting Solana. When I trade Bitcoin. When I'm not trading, if I'm not trading, I'm not really trading altcoins. They just move too weird for me. But yeah, Solana, I mean, if Solana's weekly closes below this point, it's definitely going back down to probably $50. You're absolutely right. All right, guys, I'm going to stop it here. Probably streaming tomorrow. Again, I do apologize for ending early, but normally there's a lot more people that watch because I stream over on Twitter. Unfortunately, the live streaming on Twitter is not working today. So hopefully we can stream tomorrow. With all that said, guys, hope you, I hope if you haven't sold, you come to terms with whatever you're going to decide, whether that be to hold through whatever mess we have right now or selling and maybe looking to buy lower. Again, if you're losing sleep on it, just sell or put it in a ledger and bury it and stop looking at it every day.